Power this draft to be done if we have the first bans.
Nice, nice. Okay, so again, curious to see what BDSA will be banning away. The Hecarim is an option. Honestly, Volibear is something they should consider. That's what he's been defaulting to a lot these last couple of weeks, and he's been doing work in the earlier parts of the game. But instead, BDSA, they're continuing the trend.
As they should.
God. And they're just continuing to ban away the Hecarim. I mean, he is strong, a lot of dive potential, and it does feel really bad as an ADC to get assassinated by the fastest tank of all time.
It is quite disgusting, but remember that is also not Udyr, right?
There's definitely a physics joke in there somewhere about, you know, force, mass times acceleration. That's got to be where the damage is coming from.
Immovable objects.
Sure,
so
we'll go with that.
Some about feathers and rocks, bro. But speaking of a person who's light as a feather, is Zinjat usually, who just pops in from one screen to the other. As we see the bad phase continues, I would expect to see maybe a Lee Sin ban just to kind of limit the jungle pool even more, or the Jinx if they want to take the ops away from Misfits.
I think their BDSA are probably going to be happy with the Jinx Aphelios trade because mostly we've been seeing Crown Shot play a lot of the Aphelios. The Irrelevant. Remember, he did have a really smurf game on the auction and something. Yeah, they don't want to let that one through. So I think that ends up being a better ban. And if you want to take away junglers, you do still got to worry about the Volibear. High priority on this pick for Tinks on the side of Misfits. Of course, Jinx being available, we'll probably see something like that come through. No, they're just thinking of hovering. First pick the Volibear. They don't care.
Yeah, I guess you know, Lulu. I mean, I was gonna say I guess Jinx does not matter, but this could be the Jinx Lulu. This is a potential, especially if we're trying to go for just the anti-dive, so the Jinx lock-in makes sense. But this is a mod lock-in. I find it's pretty up there considering how strong she's been.
Yeah, I agree. It was a good. Okay, well, hey, we're back. So, well, we never left, but the point is, I do like the LeBlanc. That's pretty good
for sure
because it is good in terms of it's one of those like shoving room type champions with the Rise band away too, which isn't as great a matchup for her. It's the perfect angle to go ahead and grab it for yourself. We saw Peng do a lot of work. Yes, we know that kind of backline access you can have on this sort of champion, so they just went ahead and locked that one in for themselves. Plus, I think it's partially a bit of a denial. If we saw that one come through on Misfits side for Chayek, it would be a little dangerous because, again, we talk about how important mid-jungle duos are right now, and being able to skirmish early, Volley LeBlanc is definitely a nasty one, but with... Oh, okay, so it wasn't actually LeBlanc, it was the Tom Kench.
Hovering. I thought it was locked in, yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so they lock in some safety for the Jinx as the mobility carry, considering you're up against the dive potential of Volibear, and now alongside the Aphelios, which is the handshake that consistently happens. I wonder if they go for some sort of divers type champion. Thresh is up by the way for the first time in a long time.
Not Thresh, not into the Tom Kench, bro. That's not it, bro. Please.
That's not it.
No. You gotta like we talked about it last week. We saw it come through from Chameleus. I'm looking for. There's a couple of things you could do here. You could just go all in on the dive, pick something like the Leona, or technically Rel, because one dive champion, even though she's not good right now, really great into the Tom Kench, being able to use the Q to eliminate that gray health.
Shield,
yeah, because that's a shield. As soon as he pops the thick skin, you can just take that away, and it's just really good there. Where even when you use that Magnet Storm, okay, well, yeah, you ate up your ADC with a Devour, but I have pulled them in anyways. But it's not gonna happen. Misfits are just going for the Thresh Aphelios. It's just too good of a combo in their eyes here. But it's a little tough because Misfits do still need dive with the Volibear. He can't be going in by himself.
It hurts having a brain this big. It genuinely every single day when I notice how my brain cells expand. I was just saying, you know.
Is that where the hair went?
I did call no, whatever. I did call the Thresh, but Shio back in one of his signature picks on the Lee Sin as the mid bans are also there with the LeBlanc and the Zoe band away as well. Interesting pick on the Zoe, but not bad considering we've seen it a little bit, and I expect this trend to continue with top lane bans as well. Yeah,
it could be a knowing something we don't kind of thing. You've seen a lot of scrims, something along those lines. The point is, though, I like the LeBlanc ban. Again, mid jungle duo, LeBlanc Lee Sin, quite nasty, especially because they're in a position where BDSA are probably going to be looking to go for a blind mid laner there and just pick something for aggressive on the R5, and that's also why you're seeing things like the Jace taken away. You don't want any good blind top laners to remain, especially Jace being probably the best one at the moment here, but with that taken away, there's probably still going to be a lot of options available for Irrelevant there. We've seen him do a good amount of things, whether it's tanky or on the more carry route. So I wonder, because the Gwen has made it through, are we going to see that go blind there for Irrelevant?
I was thinking, I was gonna say Nar is also up as well, and
Nar
so
is
is
also up.
Graves. So they could go for that same handshake that they did just in terms of the Hullbreaker matchups, right? That's we've seen so commonly. We know Gresivu is phenomenal on the Nar. The Cannon is also an option if you want to go with the pick lane as well. As I know this is a hover right now. No, okay, no, it's not.
in.
We get the Arty, baby.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, too. You need a prio mid so you can move around and play with this Lee Sin. And you do need some of that wave clear so you can get that. That's why, especially because you see the LeBlanc taken away. You see the Syndra also taken away. So they locked into this where, okay, you're probably going to have to blind the Ahri. And they're thinking about this Vigar. Because I think this is actually going to be a really nasty pick. One, it's honestly not very fun to play as the Ahri. I've played it a bunch of times. It's not great. And the cage is going to be really great setup for these team fights. So if you get caught in the baby cage at this point, Misfits are going to put you to bed.
I keep thinking that why is it called the baby cage? So is Jarvan's ultimate called the adult cage?
No, I call it the baby cage because one, it's a regular ability, and two, it's just so condescending of an ability where it's like you're here now, and it's like what. And it's like, I can do that again in 5 seconds, by the way. It's
It's just far too good. Speaking of picks that are far too good, the final lock-in for Gresivu will be the assassin or the Akali in the top lane.
So it's good in the matchup, especially because you're going to be going the Ignite. You can play really well into the Gnar. You do still have that.
Game number 2 on the board, BDSA against Misfits Premier. As we see, Shia takes some chip damage from the little storm. But he's fine. It might sting a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
What's
you said during game 1, you're not a fan of the hyper carry ADC meta. Called it stale, which is fair if you feel that way. But you know what? I don't think these teams mind it. No. Very bot-focused teams when you look at Crown Shot and Blue Light. That's what makes this matchup so interesting, especially with how much we've been seeing the Jinx Aphelios bans come through. These two teams very happy with the handshake and going to see who can play for their bot lane the best. And then another fun fact I got for you here.
Ooh, I like
Blue Light and Crown Shot are tied, with Skeens by the way, for most player of the games at 5.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
You know what?
Today. I have some more fun facts as well.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay, so Misfits right now in terms of stats are disgusting.
Yeah.
They've been absolutely killing it.
Okay.
And so first I gotta say, Misfits, my bad for doubting you guys. You're just very good, right? On the other end, some really fun facts that I have. Misfits currently have one of the most explosive games, right? They are third in the standings at 0.87 kills per minute, which is pretty good.
Okay.
The highest is Geo at 0.9. Which is crazy to me, right? Which is wild. And on the other end, Misfits also have the second highest goal difference at 15 with almost a 1,500 goal lead every single time. But they do have the highest first blood rate at 81%.
Right, and remember we saw the stats earlier. Tinks is a big part of all of those plays. We praise his activity in the early game. And well, it shows in the stats, that's for sure here. So now I'm curious to see where he's going to be able to find some of these early plays. Could very well set up for one bot as Crown Shot and Ordote trying to get this wave shove there. Probably not going to be able to set up for a dive because Shio's also in the vicinity, but could set up for a very nice gank here for Misfits jungler.
Every single time I see any Akali player before level 7, I feel so bad for them. Because you put out one Q, and suddenly your energy just goes kaput. But then I see them after level 7, and I'm filled with so much spite. Yeah,
it's worth it. I can tell you that. It just feels so
you
good.
Would know. Yeah.
I love playing Akali. He's great.
I mean, what I also love is ganks like these, like you were saying. Shio has shown on the map before 4 minutes. The flash goes out, okay, and both junglers are here. I'm like, okay, close from BDSA.
Nice, Vander walking up, applying a lot of that pressure. Even though he trades a lot of HP for it, has to use the potions that he has, it is still very positive for the side of Misfits because you do get the flash and ignite out of Ordote, which means look who's sitting in the brush. Tinks could just go ahead and make a play, but I think he'll actually finish that recall, get himself back on the map. He did have the info that when Shio showed up, he didn't actually go for the full clear because Volibear's early clear is actually not that bad, which means Tinks gets to reset, get back on the map, get himself some extra stats, and move his way back to continue on farming here. So he's a little ahead of Shio right now.
I was gonna say if Irrelevant actually has his boomerang to actually go along with that stack on aggressive Wu, and he has Ignite, he kills. Like straight up, that's under kill threat there as well. But with the
If
hop,
he has a cooldown and also a different summoner spell.
it's just a little bit of a narcopium, you know.
Okay, yeah.
Look, as an avid Nar player.
That's you.
that's me hopping. Sucking all the copium out of this room at this point, man. Look, bro, I was a Nar main when he came out. He was so good. I'm just waiting for a Nar shard to show up just so I can get my level 6 and show that off.
Ooh,
all
double
right.
play?
That was pretty nice, but don't they ignite now? Pops the shield. This should be Woolite's kill.
Oh, yeah.
Pops
That's
it.
two,
Might get
maybe?
the double kill as well. Crown shot has no mana. Blast forward, flash traded.
See ya.
And that's handed over on a silver platter.
Several summoners traded, but that's a double kill for Misfits 80 carry, and there it is. Winning out of the 2v2 is crucial here because, well, again, one, a hyper carry meta, two, both these teams play for these bot laners, so getting this tremendous advantage, getting this wave shoved is a big deal here, and it's from Vander. He missed the last play, but you know what? He made up for it getting the double play this time here. First it's Dote, then it's Crown Shot.
It is quite good, and the Misfits continue their trend of having the highest first blood rate in the game. And with leads like this, all of BDS say because they likely had to back. Well, Misfits did, they give the Dragon. Not bad at all. I do want to give some positivity to BDSA as well. BDSA are the first in number of wards placed, in fact. They always have the highest vision score, and the number is 3.8 wards per minute. The lowest are Mirage at 3.08.
Huh.
Right?
That's pretty cool stats.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, I do hope BDSA so far will be able to use that vision to be able to secure neutrals and stuff like that, because sometimes they do the whole front row seats thing I like to talk about here. They didn't get front row seats this time, though. They picked up Dragon #1 off the recall there from Misfits, but ultimately that's kind of a consolation where it's like, don't worry, guys, I got Dragon. And they're like, yep.
They already have the most wards on the map. They have 3 as well, with 2 vision wards in the bottom river and 1 that just expired. That was actually
Oh, you're kidding me.
Oh, he does it again. And Crown Shot's just
Beautiful.
dead. He can't go forward. Now, Moonlight just chip down against her Dote. No flash, no ignite, and he's going to die. Bye-bye.
That's the 3rd kill there for Woolite, and Tinks picks up 1 for himself. This is what you were talking about there. A lot of wards, hoping that you can try and catch Tinks to be, who's going to be constantly looking for these moves. But, oh my god. Nice bit of trade damage. You're hoping you can catch Tinks and try to answer these plays, but you can't because 1, Tinks has been out farming. 2, Tinks has been out ganking Shio. And it's why it's been so difficult for Shio to find some of these angles right now in these early minutes. And now you got the Cephalios, who's 3-1 right now. Ronnie, like, this is a hard game for BDSA to play just like that. The early game from Misfits still holding strong. And BDSA, once again, gonna have to try and get this win from behind.
He lands it again.
Just lands everything.
That's red and white. And you were doubting the Thresh plays. He's just far too good.
Vander's just a better player, I guess.
He is, exactly. This is why this is the premier combo. This is why this is the junior chicken, and along with the, what's the thing called, the quarter pounder or whatever?
The McDouble?
The McDouble, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't eat McDonald's, I don't know. But that's the premier combo that you get, right? McChicken, quarter pounder.
The junior chicken is the one, though. Oh, I know what you're talking about. We can't say it, though. Okay,
Yeah, we can.
I
No.
understand now. Yeah. No, you're right. This is the premium combo. And now, because of all this gold you have, all this pressure you have on the map, pretty much automatically after those plays, Tinks is going to very easily go ahead and pick up this first Rift Herald. And look, man, I know this is going to be a hot take. I need you to bear with me.
Okay, I'm listening.
All right, I think Tinks is going to get this, reset, and go bot again.
You know, I hear what you're saying.
Okay.
You're making some very brave calls.
I know, man.
And if you're looking across the map right now, you know, top lane is at a pretty even state considering how Irrelevant has been pushing. He's managed to match the aggressive Wu, but he's about to be level 8. That means that he's now under kill threat as well.
Yes, exactly.
And on the other end, you know, if we're looking at mid, Chak wants to farm, right? And on the bot lane, which we'll get back up for you in a couple of seconds, the lane was pretty decent considering how well they've been playing. Bot lane is the only logical option, so I see how you surmised it, but the fact that you said it right away,
Thank you. It took a lot of courage, you know, to be able to say
I know.
things
It's
like
brave
that.
opinions
Thank you. That's what we do.
by Beatdown Boulevard.
Yeah, it's a lot of bees there too. So that's probably that's what's gonna happen. I think more than
For sure.
likely. I mean, you already have so much XP on Shio. You have that Stormbreaker. You have so much dive threat. So of course you have bottom camps to take you through tanks.
Yep.
But I think that's just the play here, and that's why you see Shio, who's like, all right, I need to make something happen now before then.
And they land the hook once more right onto Shio with the flay back as well. He's not allowed to go in. They actually don't get the second ability on the Graviton.
Oh,
Waiting
no.
for him to come back. The slow should be there, and the storm calls. As Tanks is now in, is not arranged to disable the turret, so they can't dive this.
No, you can still drop the Herald, though. You still have a lot of pressure, especially because even though Shiko is on the way, you have Chayak just waiting in the wings. So you're in a pretty good spot, but they don't want to go for it. They decide to back off. They would rather try and use that Herald to get as many plates as possible here. But also, I see the assist things coming through. So maybe Misfits are just juking us. Maybe Tinks is like, let me get this Scuttle Crab, and then we're just going to go ahead and go for this dive bot here.
As I believe, we're just having just a small technical difficulties with the feed
no big deal.
that we're getting up, but you get to see our faces, our faces more, I should say, and of course of the one and only BBB, Brave Beatdown Boulevard, the triple B, baby.
I like that, and also I love how every time we come back on camera, I have to scratch my nose. It's only then where it's like, oh, this is great now.
Yo, do you have that thing where it's like, when people's like knees shake when they can feel that it's gonna rain?
That's arthritis. What it is?
Look, okay, look. I just say that because I have a buddy like that who every single time he can predict the weather, so he knows like a couple hours before when it's gonna rain.
Does he have arthritis?
I don't think so.
That's usually commonly what it is. You should get that checked.
Wait, is that because of rain and arthritis? It just happens?
No.
because of the weather?
Arthritis is a whole other thing where it's like you're lacking the cartilage between your joints.
Yeah.
But the thing is, because when it rains and weather in general, there's like a change in pressure, and that's what they can feel, and that's why they can be like, oh, I feel it in my bones.
Oh.
Medic, if you're watching this and I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
That's so cool. Medic, let us know if that's true. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's right.
I'm actually genuinely enthralled by that. That's really cool. But
that's why I thought you were saying, like, did you have arthritis? I'm like, what?
No, I actually didn't know that at all. But one thing I think I don't know is what's happened to the game currently.
We'll get there.
Like you said,
I mean,
we'll
hey, look, they're diving bot. I'm so sure of that. I'm not even concerned. I don't even need to see the game. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna dive bot. They're gonna get a double kill onto Woolite. Tinks is going to get one kill.
Yeah.
It's going to be a triple play. It's going to be beautiful. They're going to pick up the dragon. Let's see.
Yeah. As they're in. Okay, that might actually be happening, but if they have a wave, though, sadly, that is not present. Instead, they'll just give it up and let them push in for free. The Rip Herald is now popped. And like you're saying, no real dive, but Stormbreaker is up.
Yeah, enough time has passed where he's like, hey, I have this ultimate again. But instead, they're just going to give Woolite the majority of that local gold.
Did you get the second charge?
Probably not. I think they're going to let that one go. However, Woolite is strong, and he can just walk up and do whatever. It's red and white, so BDS I don't think are allowed to fight.
No, they are not. Woolite's Moonlight Vigil currently on to Adote did exactly almost 10 damage, which is kind of gross, and considering it was also just a white gun as well. But the Everfrost misses to Chayak, not under much kill threat. Shiguna going in. It lands a W. There's a cack start from Chayak, but he might be able to get this one more out. Oh, the charm with the flash and the outplay from Shiko. Now they land the hook on Ardote, forcing him away. Has to pop the shield. Woolite might be into trouble, and Shio sees his ankle, gets greedy.
Red buff.
But the red buff runs it down.
Oh, and his heels just came off cooldown. That's got to be the worst feeling there, but ultimately, especially because he blows the flash. You still, and you do give away a kill over to Shio, but of course it is answered back there by Tanks. Misfits still in a really good position here, just because of all the dive that they have, but you got to give credit to Shiko for that 1v1 there. Did miss the first charm, did land the second, and is going to be able to get a good amount of turret plates as a result here. And that's probably Shiko. Look, Ari's good right now, but the thing is, you got to be able to, we talked about it in the draft, you got to be able to do something with the priority that you have. So far, BDSA have been playing this game a little slow, a little from behind, and because of that, Shiko's going to have a little more trouble in these team fights unless you find a really sick angle onto Woolite because he doesn't have cleanse. So no cleanse means you can land the charm, you can't get the full combo going there, and maybe you can burst down this 80 carry, because I said it in the previous game.
Yeah.
Shield bow isn't a thing anymore, so burst is kind of cool. By not a thing, by the way, I mean more like, they don't build it because it kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's not great considering they actually lowered the effectiveness of the shield. It's in the name.
You know what? It was pretty standard
It was
for
pretty
a
good.
lot of 80
Yeah, yeah.
carries, so I can kind of see why they're like, all right, why don't we relax a little bit?
Yeah, it was quite good, but such is that cookie crumbles, as so does the mini wave in front of Chayak. As now Tanks moves over to get the second Rip Herald. Oh,
Goodbye.
Chayak gets baited. Yeah, he's just right into it. They have complete vision on him, and it's so free that means the Rip Herald's now gone.
And this is what I was looking for from Shio and Chico, to be able to make some of these plays, and now tried to predict the Dark Passage.
Okay.
Did not do so, otherwise Woolite would have been dead to rights. But still, that pick is nice. It's going to be BDS priority over the Rift Herald, and because Dragon's coming up in a minute, this could be a big deal for them to be able to either break open this mid turret and walk up, or drop the Herald and go for this Dragon. Because they managed to get the 2 early Drakes, they'll be able to get themselves to that Mountain Soul point. That's a big win con they can play for.
Speaking of win cons, this is the one way to create it. Moonlight Vigil
Grab
onto
it,
Dote, right? They actually do land it, but not in range.
Yeah, they got a little too far. There wasn't much they were going to be able to do about it there. So, no Summoner's Blown. You do walk away with the Herald as BDSA. So what I was saying before can very likely happen. We're 30 seconds away from this break, and there isn't very much that can be done unless we see Misfits get a big play off of it here. Because right now, we do have these Unleashed teleports. Irrelevant is recalling, but could show up to this fight. I think Misfits should do so because you don't want this soul point to go over to BDSA. If they manage to get the Mountain Soul, that's their way back in.
We'll say Crownshot also does not have the cleanse right now as well, but Shayak is under duress from 3 different people. This tower should definitely go down, and there we go. Crownshot gets the solo gold right towards him as the dragon is now up as of right now, like you were saying. So, BDSA are first to take, but Misfits definitely do not want to give this up, as this will be soul point, and the BDSA can fight them on their own terms. As Nyx is now here, they look at aggressive who on the backside, looking for a potential assassination,
Nice
and that's the smite immediately taken away by BDSA.
Yeah, Chio, good job kicking Tinks right at the moment where they can just go ahead and burst down this dragon, and they get the soul point, and unfortunately it's Misfits who get the front row seats, and then you can see it. Misfits, they're trying to see if they can catch anybody out. At the very least, they are going to get this mid-turret for their troubles. But it's going to be tough because that means 4 minutes, 40 seconds. Misfits have to be ready to take this dragon. They cannot allow BDSA to get that Mountain Soul.
BDSA have created a for sure Star of Fire win con for themselves if they are able to take that away. That is also the second Mountain Soul today as well, as past the first game. So might be a Mountain Soul kind of day as from what we perceive.
So.
But yeah, for now though, Misfits have to be able to set up for themselves the next 4 minutes, and I cannot imagine we see any sort of significant fighting before then. But get this pick onto Chico. Should be nice. They missed the Moonlight Vigil. As it lock him down, lands the charm onto Woolite as well. As Woolite was walk away, it's a Stormbringer, but he's up there by himself. The baby cage's not going to land, and Shio will walk away. This will go in Infamous, and the reset from Tanks. Gets a second pocket the W, but now he might be in trouble. There's more people gaining onto him. Aggressive cannot find an angle, though.
No, will not use the perfect execution. In fact, he is in a bit of trouble here. Erdote forced to use the Devour, and that's going to be another turret there for Misfits. We saw the gold earlier, and how a lot of the key members, Tinks, Woolite, are up about 1,000 gold on their opponents here, and getting that gold up on champions like this Aphelios, on this Volibear, is a big deal. And because of that pressure you got on the map, you have this play.
The hook there might be a little bit wary, is irrelevant. Just goes out of the Meganar. So Aggressive and Adurte do have kill threats, so if see this, they walk away.
Right, and you are forced to use 2 flashes, which is really unfortunate, especially for Chayak, who's been under a lot of pressure in this early to mid game here. So he has to be careful of the play coming from Aggressivu, coming from Shio, has to use the event horizon accordingly here. So Misfits hoping that they can just continue snowballing. That's why you see them go for that tier 2 turret, but maybe they bite off just a little bit more than they can chew. You want to hold on to your lead for when this next dragon comes up, because That next dragon, you have to get it. Misfits can't let this one go, otherwise they will be in a very difficult situation here. And I mean, it's worth noting, having your Aphelios ahead, as long as you can fight front to back, things can find the angle, you're usually going to be in a really good position for that to happen.
And speaking of leads as well, currently the standings, as CR raised previously, these two teams are tied.
Yeah.
They're both 10-6 as well. So, and both of them fighting for the potential opportunity to gain top seed. Now, the biggest thing is, of course, is with seeding that you have, just top two teams are able to pick their opponents, and I believe the first seed, I believe also the first seed coming out of playoffs does make it to EU Masters, which I know is the goal for all of these teams, right? I believe it's top two seeds make it EU Masters, but
so, no, it's top two regular season who will make EU Masters, and it is third place who gets to pick their opponent in the first round.
Yes.
Yes.
Which, but I mean, just, passing by a couple of matches is something that I know they can't hurt us because it is the second last day of regular play, and we mentioned it already, but today truly is the day where every single one of these games counts, and getting first or second seed could be the difference between, getting to finals or getting to third place, maybe getting knocked out in quarters.
Right, and of course, Chayak now, they do want to find an angle. Spirit Rush is available.
Nice Everfrost, the lockdown tanks.
Yeah, Sheikah will be A-okay, doesn't have to blow his flash in the process, and he might even have that ultimate back in time for the dragon coming up. So, again, that's the big thing we got to keep looking towards. Misfits are still strong. They're up 5K, so you got to feel good about their chances here. But you see it, Irrelevant is pushing out this top wave now. It should be slow pushing towards that tier 2 and stacking. He's got to walk down. He's just going to go ahead and join the rest of his team because they could look to make a play before the dragon starts and get it easier for them to secure it, or they could just go ahead and get control of the pit, because once they can start the dragon, BDSA will have to move into them, and that is going to be pretty dangerous when Chayak is on this team with this Vigar.
25 seconds, and the crab should actually expire before then as well. The vision control right now very much in favor of Misfits as well, as they do have a couple control wards of the wave pushing with them. They locked on to it to get shield here. That could be huge, but Tinks sees the opportunity. Able to capitalize. Dote there. A massive Moonlight Vigil. And now Tinks goes in. That's our Dote down. But they can't continue. Crown Shot needs one reset. That's one reset it needs. Irrelevant misses the Gnar. No, he's locked in the middle of the fight. And Crown Shot is untouched. Aggressive, looking for the perfect execution. Finds two. Now Irrelevant the next target. We're able to walk away, but Chayak might be left alone. Instead, it is Irrelevant. Or with the target charm barely not going to land. But that's soul for BDSA.
Right, Shio, he gets to walk away. He used the flash, but he survives this situation here. BDSA kited very well. Misfits are gonna lose this Mountain Soul.
Irrelevant's keeping back.
Yeah, but I mean, what can he really do? The smite is there for Shio. It's gonna be pretty easy. He's just hoping he can get some kind of exit kills or something. But this is a bit dangerous for him. Wow, both skill shots end up missing, so Irrelevant. He's just going to be able to walk away no problem. And now Misfits, they're in a bit of a tough call. A lot of gold over to BDSA, narrowing this lead down to under 3,000. And they get the Mountain Soul, which is such a valuable ability. Like, we'll see it in the replay where they catch her Dote. Because Shio was under threat, he had to back away. And it's easy for Vander to go in and try and set it up. The problem is, though, Woolite isn't able to get the damage that he is looking for here. Tinks is taking damage. You can see it, but Woolite wasn't able to actually get in there to do any himself. So it was very lopsided in favor of BDSA, and that gave Aggressive the opening to just go in.
And there were two things there as well. With Irrelevant, like you were mentioning, came on the backside, he TP'd. He was able to take out two immediately. Two, the missed Gnar from Irrelevant and not able to catch Crown Shot. And which is why I find teams actually do favor, just the Jinx or the Felly sometimes because of the scaling power and the range as well. As Tinks on the kill threat has to walk away and pop the ultimate as well. Now with that big team fight off cooldown not there for themselves, BDSA can just aggress onto Misfits.
If he got caught with the Everfrost, he would have been done. So hold on, Aggressive is going in a little deep.
Lands the Moonlight Vigil again, but we've seen this before, where even though they're able to get it, they're just simply not in range to follow up, sadly. So, it's just one cooldown after the next that they're losing.
Right, and right now, the slow game isn't still Okay, so this is kind of tough because BDSA, of course, you can't go for these sort of pokes. You can't go for these sort of mini fights going on here because these shields are refreshing. 5 seconds of no damage taken, and they're back, good to go.
Yep.
So Misfits rather have to go all in these team fights and hope that they can actually pick up some kills because if Crown Shot starts resetting, we saw what happened last time. He's just going to be able to go in here. So Misfits have to be the ones to start these fights on their terms. Get someone with the cage, get someone with a hook, and burst them down before BDSA can go in because Shio can look for a kick. Aggressivu has that perfect execution, and it's really hard to lock him down, especially once you've already committed the event horizon. As soon as Aggressivu sees that, he's full sending.
You know, you talk about that as if it's a complicated mechanical process, bro. It is as simple as tying your shoes. You know, you just make a loop-de-loop and pull, and your shoes are looking good.
That's true.
It's as simple as that. But if you're saying, I was thinking about it, you know, BDSA at this point, with the small reactive plays that they've had against Misfits too, they've managed to pull this game back to an nth degree where they hold all the cards in their hands. And the Baron could be a potential way that Misfits find their way back in, but BDSA being so tanky, and are dirty especially, it's going to be so hard to burst them down. Because if Rodota stays alive, that means that you have an automatic get out of jail free card, and the shield isn't even stronger because of the Mountain Soul. And so suddenly, your main priority targets, you probably can't kill, and then things take a turn for the worse because you know it's Aggressivu and Shio assassinating your backline. Then what do you do? Nothing. That's it. You lose.
So right now, Irrelevant is wants to move up to try and get Prio on the top side because right now, the only thing Misfits have going for them is bottom lane. But that doesn't matter. Baron is what they were looking for here. And they're just going to go ahead and start things off. And now, with no vision, they have to face check. Misfits have to take the risk. But look where Aggressivu is on the left side. No vision. They don't know. If he lands something like a Shuriken flip over the wall, you know he's just going to go in for it.
The Meganar is also gone as well, so all that team fighting power not there. Although they do get some small bits of poke, like you're mentioning, it has to be immediate execution. They have to go in all at once. Speaking of Ashiko does that, a bunch of damage onto Vander, and he just dead. He can do nothing more in the collapse from BDSA. It is immediate and furious as you feel their wrath. A triple kill for Aggressivu.
Big team fight coming there for BDS Academy, and this is their way. They're back in this game. They got a whole ton of gold off of that exchange, and now they're gonna get the gold lead for the first time here today, and that means that Misfits are in a lot of trouble. A minute 30 till the Elder Dragon game-ending buff. And BDSA are well poised to be able to take it off a great team fight. They took it slow. They took their time with this Baron, because they know they have all the time in the world here versus Misfits, who had to try and do something, slowly inch their way forward until Shiko found that angle.
And it was just so clean. You were talking about the execution has to be furious, has to be immediate, it has to be on point. I think BDSA was like, hey, that's a pretty good point. What if we did that? And right from there, things went so well that at this point, BDSA with Soul, with Baron, are nearing this possibility a final fight territory against Misfits, as long as they push out these side lanes. But, you know, Misfits have pretty decent wave clear. Should be able to stand the storm, per se. But for how long is the question, as Elder is up in 40 seconds.
You say how long, but they don't have time. They have to try and set up some vision here, but I think they know now they can't go too deep. Everyone's off the map, except for Aggressivu, so it's tough for them to be able to find something here. And at this point, Misfits, they're really feeling the pressure. They're trying to force something.
Tinks is dead.
Tinks is dead.
Oh, man. He tried to follow up yet again. So we've seen this happen almost 4 times now, where you land the Moonlight Vigil, it's to grab at some, and he's not in a range, but you know who is? All of Misfits. As 2 go down, and Aggressivu goes in. He wants more. That's a double kill for Shiko. And Irrelevance is also gone. That's the ace for BDSA, as they can just close out the game.
BDSA gonna put themselves at 11-6, give themselves the best chance to not only play for third, where they can pick their opponent in playoffs, but maybe, just maybe, top 2 and EU Masters qualification.
And BDSA over the past bit, we've been saying they looked a little bit shaky, things not going too well. But after a 2-0 week, the bounce back and the potential It's true